warm-up with Trey Lyle. Join us live on VTRN Sports 93.3 FM or the VTRN Sports app. Open VTRN Sports on your smart speaker or stream live on YouTube. Time to get ready for your day with the morning warm-up with Trey Lyle and Ty Tracy.
.03 on this Monday, February 3rd. Welcome to the morning warm-up. I'm Trey Lyle. That is the man, the myth, the legend, Ty Tracy. Good morning, Ty.
Good morning, Trey.
How was your weekend?
It was pretty good.
Ours was busy. It was back home and in the Richmond area visiting. Well, I was in dog sitting. My fiance was dog sitting my parents' dog because let's just say I do not get along with that dog over the history. It's and I'm a dog person. Because over time I am. I love dogs. I have a dog, but that dog and I do not get along, and I will save those stories for off the air. But I'll just because my mom could be listening right now, and I don't know if she wants those stories out in the open. So, but let's just say, but we also got to see family and friends, and that was good. Had a good time. Watched some hoops. Watched the Super Bowl. Came back to Lynchburg. Literally made it to the house as the opening kickoff. So thank God for the VTR and Sports app. Had the game, listened to the pregame coverage, but did get to see Super Bowl 60, which is what we'll talk about first, in case you missed it.
Keeping up with sports 24/7 takes some serious effort, especially when you're sleeping. Don't worry, the morning warm-up stays alert around the clock. Now here is everything you missed last night.
Super Bowl 60 between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. And Ty, one team was we speculated on, we both picked Seattle. We both lost the coin toss, and we both lost the anthem, by the way, because you picked over. I picked over, right? I have to go look at the sheet. So we'll get that second. We'll get that in about 15 minutes after the break. But anyways, when we're talking about the game, we did have a fear that kind of what played out, where, New England could do enough defensively to prevent touchdowns, but ultimately their offense was just not good enough. And it was a dominant defensive effort. 29-13 the final score, but really that's not an indication. It was like 50-13, it felt like. Sam Darnold did enough. I think he missed a couple throws that could have been touchdowns. Christian Gonzalez made two great plays to prevent touchdowns. There's the one obviously to Shaheed when he was getting blitzed and he overthrew him. But I don't think Sam Darnold, I think this ultimately is a good redemption story for Sam Darnold. But ultimately the story of this game is the Seattle defense, which I don't know, it's not as good as the Legion of Boom defense, but people saying that, this is their first iteration of this true defense, and comparing it to an all-time defense is hard. But this defense was good in all three phases. And the issues we've seen from New England this year, especially at the skill position and in the offensive line, came back to bite them. This is a team in New England that had not played good offensively all postseason, just happened to play either a backup quarterback or a historically bad game for one quarterback, or a team that also didn't have an offensive line. And ultimately, Seattle was the best team all year, and it just showed up in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think like you said, the Patriots didn't I can say it's between the Texans and the Seahawks. Those probably the two best defense they face all year round, hands down.
They played honestly 4 of the 6 best defenses this year
But
in the playoffs.
but you can name them. They're the top 2 defense they played.
And I'd put Denver third. Like they
Yeah.
played probably 3 of like 3 best defenses in the NFL. Maybe
Mhm.
Philadelphia is 4.
hmm
And they did not look great offensively in any of those games.
Yeah, and one thing I could say with the game plan with the Seahawks, they didn't make Sam Darnold play superhero ball. It just like lean on defense, run the ball. Let's put in a comfortable situation. They did for Sam Darnold. He made the plays when he needed to. So I feel like their game plan, the Seahawks game plan, what they did was like defense, run the ball, and let Sam Darnold make some throws, and he completed the throws when he needed to. So I feel like that was Seahawks game plan they did the whole time. And Patriots, I mean, their defense was making some good plays, but like their offense just couldn't. They would have struggled. They couldn't find the rhythm. And you can see Drake May was just having a hard time getting the ball out as well.
Yeah, I think obviously the shoulder thing's going to come out. Like he did not look healthy. There were some throws where you're like, "What are you doing, Drake May?" And I'm not here to. I don't think this playoff run is an indictment on Drake May. Like there's a reason he finished second in the MVP by 1 first place vote. Like he's really good, and I still would defend how I feel about Drake May, thinking he's maybe the best quarterback of the 23 class. 23 class.
Yeah.
And I would still defend it. Or is it the 24? No, 24 class. Because this what Ward? Yes, the 24 class. They got drafted in 2024. So it's the 20. I hate that. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Everyone knew what I meant. Anyways, I think this is, obviously New England was there early. New England had one of the easiest schedules in the history of the football, and like all time. And again, I think Vrabel's a really good coach and a really good, but
Well,
they had a rookie. Their left side of the offensive line was rookies, and they got destroyed in this game. And like last season, which when Philadelphia played Kansas City, it was football's simple sometimes. Seattle's big people moved New England's big people way better because also Seattle ran the ball really well. Kenneth Walker won MVP with 27 carries for 135 yards. Would have been more if the center didn't hold on the touchdown run or taken back touchdown run. But early on, New England was playing bend don't break. They were playing super aggressive. They were jumping a lot of things. I was like, oh my god, a double move from JSN is coming. And Darnold almost threw an interception in the first quarter a couple times, and but then once they went up 9-0, they kind of were like, all right, we got this. And I don't want to say they went conservative offensively, but they just Darnold, which showed his growth, kind of was like, all right, I'm going to take my check down. He made a couple really good plays in the pocket, just escaping and avoiding the sack, and either throwing it away, throwing it to the running back, or
they just like they didn't
or running.
Like I said, they didn't make him play superhero ball the whole time. So that's one thing I could say about the Seahawks. They really said, hey, you don't have to be a superhero.
And the Patriots offense this year was, Trey, please make a play. And he just couldn't. You could tell it felt like one, his shoulder was hurt, and two, the cumulative injuries was just bad. Because he had 2 of the worst interceptions you'll ever see. Like the pick six, which was like he was getting sacked and he gets rid of the ball and it goes right into the linebacker's hands, Nwosu. And then the interception, was it to Love? I think Love caught the other interception.
I think so.
He just I don't even know who he's throwing to. Yeah, it was Julian Love, Notre Dame's finest. Who, I didn't even know who he's throwing to. So it was an interesting game. It was a defensive slugfest, and early I was enjoying it early because the blitz, they were New England especially was playing my strategy in EA College Football 26. Ty's played me. I blitz a lot because I'm not good on defense. So I'm I just need to get in it. I think they blitzed more than you normally do. And
Mike Babel know he was like, if you blitz Sam Darnold, he's not good under pressure at all.
They handled it enough, and Seattle wins, and you have to give them a lot of credit. Now, I don't know what I think Seattle's a really good team going forward, and they have a really good young core and a really good defense, and they're going to be scary. And for New England, this is I think you give New England the same thing you would say Washington, where all right, you on the bell curve, you like we talked bell curve of your outcomes of your season, you finished on the very far end. All right, like the very far end of the. This is the best possible outcome. You need to retool your offensive line. You need to get a lot faster at the skill position level. Like Stephon Diggs can't be your receiver one at 30, like what 32. Like
They might be 31.
I mean, he might not be in the NFL next year. All right, but that's for 32.
Oh, okay.
But you very similar to Washington, and Washington kind of, I think, made a failure this past offseason with a little bit of the run it back. Like, and I'm not here to say like they brought back Bobby Wagner, they brought back Zach Ertz, like they traded for a Debo Samuel, so they kind of got like another guy that probably is past what he was. If you're New England, like, do you make the AJ Brown trade? Because you can argue AJ Brown's probably more in his prime than Debo was, and he's not as hurt as Debo is. And obviously, the Terry thing kind of killed their sales, some degree. But I'm just saying, my point being, New England can't be like run it back. Like, you're not going to win a title, I think, next year with a healthy Mahomes. I would assume a better Bills team.
Hopefully
a better
Bengals team.
a better Bengals team. Like the people you had to face, you did not have to face Lamar. You faced Josh in the regular season, obviously. Mahomes. You did face Lamar in the regular season.
If the Texans had a better quarterback, I think.
If they're I believe in CJ Stroud. If their Texans quarterback just played better, they're also the same issue of the offensive line, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be fascinating because we could go on about Sam Darnold and his recovery art and shout out to Jets fans who were celebrating this. Shout out to Evan Hughes. Always believed in Sam Darnold.
I could say shout out to, I mean, interrupt you, but I could say a big, huge shout out to John. Is it John Snyder? The GM
who was getting dunked on after they fired Pete Carroll, and that aged a little. He looked a lot. That aged pretty well.
I mean, he cleaned the whole house and built a whole new, he cleaned the whole house and built a whole new empire. Like,
think about this: the Seahawks become an underrated, elite franchise of the 2000s, because this is so. In the last 20 Super Bowls, they've been to 4 of them.
Yeah,
they're at Super Bowl 40.
Yeah,
when they lost to Pittsburgh, then they were at the 2. What they beat Denver, should have beat New England.
Yeah,
what Super Bowl 49? So it's 48-49.
Yeah,
and now they're at 60. With winning this one, and I wouldn't be shocked if they're there next year. We might for fun because we are an ESPN station, and ESPN is the home for Super Bowl 61. By the way, maybe we will give our way too early Super Bowl 61 prediction. And then we'll also, but we'll save that for a second. But anyways, before we get to college hoops talk, it was just simply how Seattle's been all year. It's just a dominant defensive effort. 6. The only team to really truly score points on them was the Los Angeles Rams. So and I guess Tampa early in the year, when Baker was hot. Basically you need to have a good quarterback and really good wide receivers. That was the way to beat Seattle. And you know who doesn't have elite wide receivers? The New England Patriots. And they did not run the ball well. Rick May was the leading rusher for their team. Kenneth Walker had 135 rushing yards. New England had 79. Bad Bunny ran for more yards than the New England Patriots in his halftime show.
Yeah.
That was That might be my favorite stat from the Super Bowl. Is someone apparently Next Gen Stats tracked the Bad Bunny halftime performance, like how far he went. Now this might have been a joke, but I'm gonna take it for a fact. He traveled 124.4 yards with the football.
Hmm.
So
Interesting stat that next gen stat want to pull up, but
hey, it's more than it was more. I know for sure without even like guessing, just watching it, he definitely ran the ball with a football more yards than what the Patriots did last night.
definitely true.
So Seahawks win 28-13. They are 29-13. They are the Super Bowl champions. Shout out to, of course, the great Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner who are on the call for us here at Westwood One, which you could have catched across the entire Virginia Talk Radio network. You think Kenneth Walker should have been the MVP?
Yeah.
I think so. I think him. I actually was rooting for Jason. I wanted Jason Myers to win it, especially late before they got the touchdowns when it was like 12-0, and he was the only one that scored, and he set the record for most field goals in the history of the Super Bowl.
See, that's why I was like, if a kicker win, if the kicker from
the punter should have won too.
Yeah, I would
Punter
not
was
be.
great,
I would not be mad if they would pick
Again,
the kicker for
special teams,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Like, you can go back to the national championship game. The difference was a block punt, like special third phase of football. You know, going back to last week, James Franklin brought up the point about like some coaches disregard special teams, and dude, special teams matter. Like Seattle had one of the best, and both these teams had one of the best special teams units. Like they had one of the best kickers all year, one of the best punters all year, and one of the best returners all year. Whether it was Marcus Jones or Rashid Shaheed, like both these teams were kind of built the same. Like Seattle's the final version of it. New England's like in their new stage where you want an elite defense with young players that can get to the quarterback and in all three phases. New England kind of has that. They have a really good defense. They have an elite corner. They have Milton Williams, who's an elite defensive tackle. You know, obviously different. Like Seattle has Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, DeMarcus Lawrence, and then you go to their linebackers, and then obviously probably the best secondary in football with the two corners, Imawari, Reek Woolen, Devin Witherspoon, like Julian Love, like that elite defense. And you could argue Devin Witherspoon because they kept calling the same blitz, and he would blitz, and he would wreck the game. Devin Witherspoon might be one of my favorite players. I like he might be one of the best, like to me, like the best blitzing defensive back in my lifetime is Brian Dawkins. Because like he was so good. Like that's what made Jim Johnson's defense so elite, is that he could just take Brian Dawkins and blitz him and he would get the sack. Because what he was he the first player with 20 sacks and 20 interceptions in a career? Something like that.
Yeah.
I know he's in that he's in that club. It's like him, Charles Woodson. Anyways, my point being, Devin Witherspoon could have been MVP too. And Nwosu, I guess, with the pick six could have been it as well. But I think once Kenneth Walker in the first half was the Seattle offense. So 27 carries, $135. First running back since
Terrell Day was in 9. I think it was the second Super Bowl.
I think it was 19.
Right?
I think it was I thought it was it was the second one. So we were alive then.
Because I was saying, because 99 was the Rams.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, 97, 99. 97, 98 were the Broncos.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Broncos, Falcons. Broncos, Packers, because the Packers were going back to back because they won in 96. And then Broncos, Packers, then Broncos, Falcons.
Okay.
Then Titans, Rams, Patriots, Ravens, Giants, Bucks, Raiders.
I think Eagles versus Patriots. No, that's 2000.
No. Then we're at that's 01.
I think Patriots and Panthers.
Patriots, Panthers, Patriots, Eagles.
Steelers and Seahawks.
Or 04, Steelers, Seahawks. Yeah. Then we're 05. Is that Patriots?
No, I think it was Patriots and Giants.
07 is Patriots, Giants. It's 05. That would be Super Bowl 41, Super Bowl 42, or Super Bowl 43. Super Bowl 40, Seattle, Pittsburgh. Ben gets it. Super Bowl 42. We can Google this.
Yeah.
We're just, Steelers Cardinals. That was 2009.
Yeah. Okay.
So Super Bowl 42 was Patriots Giants.
Mm-hmm.
That's 07. So we might have getting our years off. Anyways, I think I could work backwards and get a lot of the Super Bowl champions. It's way easier to work backwards in my head because that's more recent than like go from 2000.
Yeah.
So, but that would be a fun trivia. Anyways, fun season. Football's done for now. But any other final thoughts on this game, Ty?
I thought a lot of people kept saying, "Oh, this Super Bowl is terrible," blah blah. I thought it was good. Like I said, it's just two good defenses going against each other, and you're going to get a slow start. And overall, Super Bowl was good. Halftime performance was good. I think the whole Super Bowl weekend was good. Period.
It was a dominant defensive effort. Like it was it was a like.
But people should have been aware of that.
As I've gotten old, like if I was 15, I would not like this. But now that I am 28 years old, and I've watched more football, and you and I become like since I've known you, and you played defensive football, so like I can talk to you about stuff.
Yeah,
like I learned stuff from you. Again, folks, Kai knows more about football than me. I'm okay with saying that because he actually played. Again, when we're talking about the morning warm up flag football team, I'm the coach. Okay, maybe I can, if we have enough athletes with Ty, Lake, I think Bryson Gordon could give us some slot ability as a Julian Edelman. I could maybe sneak in at quarterback, but typically probably gonna be the coach. Anyways, I just think this was a dominant defensive effort because, like, you could watch that game and be like, "Are you concerned about Drake May going forward?" I would say yes, but he's a second-year quarterback. I think the fact he carried this offense to the Super Bowl, which is what he did, and ultimately his offensive line was not good enough, and the hits piled up, and he injured his shoulder, and he was just not good enough in this game. But I'm not like here to hit the panic button.
No,
on Drake May.
I think they're in a good position with Drake May.
So, but we're gonna end with this. All right, year from now. Actually, no. Year from Sunday. Yeah, year from Saturday because it's on Valentine's Day next year. Super Bowl 61. What's your game? Who wins?
Patriots. I have no clue.
No, you have to make a pick though. Come on, it's fun. It's probably gonna be wrong.
I don't know. Maybe.
Come on, Ty. There's 32 teams. I will say this: don't pick the Raiders.
I'll probably say Bills and maybe.
Ooh. Year one under Joe Brady.
Maybe Bills the 49ers. I don't know.
Ooh, okay, Bills Niners. I can see that. All right. So, just because I do not trust the head coach in Philadelphia, I'm not picking the Eagles. I still think they have the best roster in the NFC. I do want to pick the Rams, but I just think at this point you're rolling the dice with Stafford's injuries.
I think this was going to be Stafford's last season.
No, he already said he's come back.
No, I thought I went at the.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. But you know what?
I could see.
Drake May might have made it there. Been the first quarterback in this class to make it. He's gonna be the first quarterback to win it.
Yeah, I could definitely see that too.
No, who's gonna be the first quarterback to win it?
Caleb Williams,
the Chicago Bears. All right, Bears. I'll go Bears. Texans, and the game ends with Caleb Williams, Big Bro, and C.J. Stroud because that'd be hilarious.
I could definitely see the Texans getting they bring in another receiver and offensive lineman.
I would bring in offensive linemen.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know why. That's my, Anyways. So there you have it. Way too early Super Bowl picks from us. They're going to be right. One of us is, clearly. All right, we can come back. A complete recap of college hoops this weekend from Tech, UVA, Liberty. We'll even mention the North Carolina game you could listen to right here on VTRN Sports. But we'll talk about that next year on the Morning Warm-Up.
Beller Chevrolet is now Apple Chevrolet. While the name's changed, we're still the same trusted Beller's team. Same management, same knowledgeable parts and service, same techs, same professional sales staff. With over 200 years of collective experience, we'll continue growing stronger alongside our community. From the newest Chevrolets to top quality pre-owned vehicles, Apple Chevrolet delivers the same unmatched customer service. Visit us at driveapple.com. Apple Chevrolet of Alta Vista, powered by the community we serve.
A cool food concept sparks curiosity. What about two concepts at one restaurant? That's even better. Oliver's on Rivermont is Lynchburg's first multi-concept restaurant. Pick items from the traditional Oliver's menu, the 801 Raw Bar menu, or mix and match. And you'll appreciate the consistency of Oliver's new kitchen and serving staff. Two cool concepts in one. Only available at Oliver's on Rivermont.
More than 200 members of Congress are standing up for AM radio listeners. The AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act will keep AM radio in cars, because when cell and internet services are down, this free service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 39179. Tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Good morning. We are just getting your day started here on VTRN Sports with the morning warm-up. Stay connected at Trey Lyle VT and Ty Tracy 90 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Listen wherever you are with the VTRN Sports app, or watch the show live on YouTube at youtube.com/VTRN Sports Lynchburg. Now, back to the morning warm-up.
7:30 on this Monday, February 9th. Welcome back to the morning warm-up. I'm Trey Lyle. That's Ty Tracy. And, sometimes you make picks and you think you went one way, and the whole time you're disappointed that you got it wrong. That was me with the I picked the over on the national. I thought I picked the over on the national anthem. So, I was upset last night when it clocked in at 155.7, according to the watch of Storm Durham. Turns out, as if you're watching on our YouTube stream, I'm pulling it up. Let me see, make sure everyone can see it. Yep, you can see our picks. I picked the under, so I cash on that. We both picked tails. Shout out Randy Moss, because tails never fails. You picked blue Gatorade. Mm-hmm. I picked green, yellow.
Still same thing.
Ty and I agreed. So yellow is the technical choice, but if you understood, if you're hip, when I say green, I mean lemon lime, which that was the Gatorade. And I picked Seattle. You actually picked New England, which I thought you picked Seattle for some reason.
I said I will go with Seattle, but I like Mike very well a lot on this game.
So I take it back. I went 3-1. I know more ball than Ty. I take it back. All right. Speaking of ball, some wild college hoops games this weekend. Let's talk about them with In Case You Missed It, Part 2.
Keeping up with sports 24/7 takes some serious effort, especially when you're sleeping. Don't worry, the morning warm-up stays alert around the clock. Now here is everything you missed last night.
Let's talk about maybe the most entertaining game of the three. It clearly was the closest. Liberty 79, Missouri State 76. Boy, oh boy, did Liberty escape with one in this game. Shout out to Zach Cleveland with a triple-double in this one. He's playing really good basketball. He had Zach Cleveland in this game had 19 points, 10 boards, 11 assists. Brett Decker had 20. Colin Porter had 10. Colin Porter, Colin Porter decided to just start missing free throws. He missed what? I think it was like 2 all. He was 95%. He missed 3 in this game. Ultimately, he did seal the game, but they were up 20 at one point in the second half, and they had to hang on to win. Colin Porter basically made the steal to save the game because Missouri State was inbounding the ball with 5 seconds left, down 3. It was 15 seconds left, down up 2, and ultimately it was nerve-wracking. 10 seconds left, down 3, and then Porter makes the steal. And at one point, with 12 minutes left, it was a 20-point game. So concerning closing this game out, but sometimes that happens. But Liberty gets the win. They're now 12-0. They've won 13 in a row. And excuse me, that's more than that. They've won 14 in a row. And I think ultimately the good thing is you get the win. Zach Cleveland proved once again why he's probably the player of the year in Conference USA at this point. But boy, oh boy, did it. And Ed Lane was there with his boys. It got pretty tight in that Liberty Arena very late in that game.
Yeah, and I mean, we think probably the best team in Conference USA, I believe, and you're going to get tested, and I think that was a good test for them, and they found a way to win, like you said, when they make critical plays to need to be made, and they did it.
Yeah, I mean, Porter was hitting free throws. They were turning the ball over. Missouri State was hitting shots. Like it was an avalanche, and Liberty did enough.
Yeah,
literally, barely did enough to get this win, and you give them credit. And 79-76, they get the win, and this was shaping up to be a big game at home. It was on national television. They I think gave everyone a shirt. Either was it a shirt? It was a shirt, right? I'm pretty sure it was red something. I'm like 85 to 90% sure it was a shirt, but you never know. It could have been a towel, like to wave. But it was a nice win, or it was a good win. And now you face what Bryson was saying, probably your toughest road stretch, where you go your longest in terms of distance at New Mexico State, at UTEP this week, and you keep winning. It confirmed. It was red towels. Thank you, Ed Lane. Just wanted to be sure. See, that's why I was like 85%. But thank you, Mr. Lane, for that. And again, nice win for Liberty. They're now, I mean, getting to the 20-win mark. 20-3 is a very impressive record. A very, 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 very impressive record. And you look at that. Now, moving to the Virginia Tech Hokies, they fell to NC State 82-73 in a game in which NC State was just able to keep them at an arm's length throughout the entire game. I think we talked about the key in the game, like defending the 3, and I think Virginia Tech did enough defending the 3. You wanted to keep them under 12 3-pointers. You did that, but ultimately they still shot 52% from the field. NC State just played better. Hokies commit 15 turnovers. That's probably not good enough. But NC State just was able to keep Virginia Tech at an arm's length and got the win, Ty.
I mean, yes. I just don't feel like I'm starting to lose hope in the Hokies now. And it's just like you have a good squad, and I feel like they're not showing the production that I expect them to show. They're supposed to show this year.
You think they're underperforming at this point? By the way, Imani Hansberry led the way with 19 points. I I think if you want to take some good signs from this, it felt like Abdallas played his best game in a while. 14 points, shot 5 of 6 from the field, 3 from 3. Had 3 boards, 3 assists. Did commit 5 turnovers though. But it felt like if Abdallas getting a shot going, before this, and you could argue of these next 3 games that are quad ones, this was the hardest one because I think NC State's playing better than Clemson right now. But you know, you look at this, you're taking on Clemson next at Clemson, and then you play home against Florida State and then at Miami again. You got to get at least one of these, I think, too, because we'll talk about at North Carolina. That looks way harder now than it did a few weeks ago, and then at Virginia, it, it there is a path still, but you might be right, Ty, that this is an underperforming team at this point, which was the concern, but I just we will see. I think you look at this, like, they're playing not bad, but they're not playing good enough. It's not like they're getting blown out like NC State, who I think is better than their record and is finally playing to what we expected from them when ACC play hit.
Yeah.
Because they did have a disappointing part of their season. Like Kamari Copeland had one of his best games. He's probably the player of the week. Dude had 16 assists and no turnovers against SMU, and then follows it up with a 21-10 game for this week. Like, he was really good. And again, like, NC State was just able to keep Virginia Tech at an arm's length. Good news, Hokies, you covered the 10.5 point spread. And I just think getting Tyler Johnson back, I think not having your best on-ball defensive player is hurting them. And if they can get Tyler Johnson back by the Clemson game, that will help them so much more defensively. I think it will allow Dallas to play a little more free because he has to guard. Everyone moves down a person. So it's just that is the one thing. Like, when you miss your best on-ball defensive player, that hurts a lot. And I think Ben Hammond also, by the way, has come back to earth a little bit after just the way he started ACC play, looking like literally an all ACC player. Like, he had no points in this game. 0 of 9 for the field, 0 for 4. Did have 4 assists for the Hokies. As for Virginia, again, slow start to the game. Syracuse even had the lead at some point. But slowly but surely, Virginia took over this game. It was only a 3-point game at the half, 38-35, but Virginia pulls away. They win 72-59. Again, as we talked about on Friday, I just wanted to watch Virginia handle their business, get off to a good start. They did. They kind of did in this one, but they got the win. And this Syracuse team is not playing good basketball. They have talent, but they're not playing good basketball. And for Virginia, I think ultimately you get the win. You're now at Florida State on the 10th, and then you have the game in Nashville against Ohio State. I think you do, this week is handle your business at Florida State and then do the ACC a favor by getting the win against Ohio State.
Yeah. I feel like they really on a good track, and as long as they're keeping this play, I think they're going to be good. Like you said, got Florida State, and then you go back to Nashville. Then you go to Nashville against Ohio State, and then you're back at ACC play again, right?
Yeah, the rare February non-conference game.
Yeah, definitely. And then you finish February off against Duke.
Yeah, which that will be your barometer game, because before Saturday they were undefeated in ACC play and hadn't lost an ACC game since last year. And again, if Virginia gets, I don't want to say blown out by Duke, but if Virginia just gets destroyed by Duke, lose by double digits, I'm not going to take away from anything that Virginia's doing. Duke is one of the still 4 best teams in the country.
Yeah, I really think if UVA pulls this upset against Duke, I feel like
if it was at home, I'd give them a shot. It's at
and that's the only thing is that even though it's at Cameron Indoor, but either way, if they still win at Duke, I feel like This is giving them great confidence heading
Heading
into
ACC
conference play
the
and
the tournament. You mean?
ACC.
Yeah.
The turn. I'm so used to saying for football conference play. They head into the ACC tournament and March Madness.
Yeah, it's all good. We're mixing it up. All right. Other scores from the weekend. We'll start with Conference USA. Delaware defeats Middle Tennessee 89-88. Western Kentucky 80s, FIU 70. Louisiana Tech 87, Sam Houston 78. Jacksonville State 77, Kennesaw State 58. UTEP 91, New Mexico State 88. As for the ACC, Clemson defeated Cal 77-55. Louisville over Wake Forest 88-80. SMU over Pitt 86-67. Miami defeated Boston College 74-68. FSU defeats Notre Dame 82-79. And Stanford over Georgia Tech 95-72. We're saving the Duke Carolina game for the very end, folks, so don't worry. Arizona has the best start in the history of the Big 12, 10-0. They're 23-0 on the year as they defeat Oklahoma State 84-47. Michigan, number 10 Michigan State, beats number 5 Illinois at home 85-88. Gonzaga bounces back with the win after their historic upset to Portland 81-61 over Oregon State. Number 7 Iowa State defeats Baylor 72-69. Number 8 Houston defeats BYU 77-66. Nebraska defeats Rutgers 80-68. Kansas over Utah 71-59. Purdue 68, Oregon 64. Oklahoma defeats Vandy 92-91, upsets them. Florida defeats Texas A&M 86-67. St. Louis defeats LaSalle 82-58. Number 21 Arkansas blows out Mississippi State 88-68. Number 23 Miami is now 24-0 as they defeat a Marshall 90-74 in the MAC Sun Belt Challenge. Number 24, I mentioned that one already. And then Kentucky defeats number 25 Tennessee 74-71. All right. 71-68. North Carolina defeats Duke at the Dean Dome. Seth Trimble with the first game-winning shot for a North Carolina player in the since Luke May did it in an NCAA tournament when they won the national title. It was like the first.
Was that against Kentucky then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, both freshmen were awesome. Cameron Boozer and Caleb Wilson. Caleb Wilson had 23 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, a block. Cameron Boozer was 24 points, 11 boards. And like Caleb Wilson basically was like, all right, I'm going to keep you in this game. I'm going to drag you. Y'all get us across the finish line. And the rest of the team did. Henry Vessar they hit big shots late. And then Seth Trimble with just it was a perfect play. Point guard drives in, kicks out to Trimble. He hits the 3. We could go into a whole conversation about court storming. I do not care right now. I mean, I think there probably needs to be a safer way to do it. It does look like they try to fight the Duke assistants, which is not good. Like whoever punched a Duke coach in that court storm, like I can't say it on the air. Like I can't say what I think about you on the air. You're a dumb blank, and that was stupid. That's all I gotta say. And I know you're a college kid. As someone who stormed a court, granted, Castle Coliseum is kind of the perfectly built place to storm the court because it is naturally going to take us a while to get down because it's in the student section is a large drop to the floor. Shout out to Castle. It is like literally the perfect place because by the time the students start to get onto the court, they're already off the court because it's just it takes you so long to get to the court. Mm-hmm. Even if you're like in the front row, because you have to drop down. Which, side note, my favorite personal court storming story. Say that 3 times fast. It was either the Duke game. I think it was the Duke game when we upset the Marvin Bagley Duke team. I was at that game, and we stormed the court, and someone I guess just aggressively dropped down and like went into the floor of Castle Coliseum, like on the far end. So we're storming the court, and you just see a gurney and EMTs running the other way. And I like turn, I'm like, okay, that's something. And we just kept going. But again, as someone who's got to storm a court, like I love it. It was awesome. It's great memory. But I will never forget that. Anyway, 71-68. We can go in the court storming story later. It's just insane. All right, when we come back, we'll do today in sports history, and we'll wrap up the show with some final thoughts. This is the morning warm-up here on VTRN Sports.
Get more on the Sheeler Motor Mile, your trusted dealer serving Southwest Virginia and surrounding areas for over 50 years. With more selection, more value, and more finance options. Plus, your trade is worth more. Shop local and save more with straightforward pricing, plus exceptional service and selection. Your search ends at the Motor Mile. Choose from over 900 quality pre-owned vehicles, plus a massive selection of new car brands in Southwest Virginia. Honda, Hyundai, Toyota, Subaru, Kia, Chevrolet, Mitsubishi, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and now Buick. Plus, the used car superstore. 12 new car brands, 900 used vehicles, one amazing buying experience. Volume selling means volume pricing, and we've got more than any other dealer in the area. The Sheeler Motor Mile delivers choices. Here's the difference. Sheeler owns the finance company and makes getting approved for credit simple and easy on the Motor Mile. Flexible financing options for every budget to get you on the road fast. Get more on the Sheeler Motor Mile with a certified friendly staff and no games, no gimmicks. The Sheeler Motor Mile, now in Christiansburg, Radford, and Pulaski. Call 866-SHEELER1. Always open at Sheeler.com.
What do high-performing athletes have in common? They don't just train their bodies, they train their minds. The best competitors have a strong mental support system that keeps them focused, confident, and at the top of their game. Want that same support in your own life? Central Virginia Counseling can help. No matter what life throws your way, our team is here for you with 2 Lynchburg locations on Wigington Road and Timberlake Road and telehealth available anywhere in Virginia. Take the first step today. Visit centralvirginiacounseling.com.
Hey, small to medium business owners, if you're frustrated with slow IT support, high costs, or paying for services you just don't use, it's time for a change. Hi, I'm Colt with We Fix Stupid Computers. We provide reliable on-site and remote support tailored for businesses just like yours. And we go beyond just fixing problems. We empower your staff with real technology so they can work smarter every day. From repairs to training to full IT support, we save you time, stress, and money. Call We Fix Stupid Computers, 434-525-8590, where smart support meets real savings.
You're not tired of winter? You want to stay frozen now through 3/2, March 2nd. Because now through March 2nd at InsaneRadioDeals.com, every item is 32% off the list price. That includes new Yamada Japanese Barbecue of Forest, downtown Cairo, the Yard on 5th Street, 801 Raw Bar and Oliver's on Rivermont, and the Caribbean Jerk Pot gift certificates, plus much more. So get 32% off the list price of every item now through March 2nd at InsaneRadioDeals.com when you enter the promo code FROZEN at checkout. Normal restrictions still apply.
Good morning. We are just getting your day started here on VTRN Sports with the morning warm-up. Stay connected with the show at Trey Lyle VT and Ty Tracy 90 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Listen wherever you are with the VTRN Sports app or watch the show live on YouTube at youtube.com/VTRN Sports Lynchburg. Now, back to the morning warm-up.
$7:51 on this Monday, February 9th. Welcome back to the morning warm-up. I'm Trey Lyle. That is Ty Tracy. Hi, are you ready?
Yeah.
Trey in sports history. You're already a Super Bowl champion of.
Tyrod waiting. Tyrod scrambling. Back at the 20. Fires end zone and is caught for the touchdown by Roberts. It's a miracle in Blacksburg. Tyrod did it, Mikey. Tyrod did it.
It's time for Today in Sports History.
Play action. Salter to throw back to the left, and it's caught in the end zone. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Bentley Hanshaw. From ruin to redemption, the Virginia Cavaliers are the 2019 NCAA National Champions.
Let's hear what Ty really knows about what happened on this day in sports history.
All right, Ty Tracy. So we're starting February 8th, yesterday. In 1986, this man won the NBA Slam Dunk competition, defeating defending dunk champion Dominique Wilkins. There are hints I could give, but I think that would give it away.
Was it Spud Webb?
It was Spud Webb.
Oh.
Correct. I almost said his team or his height, and that would have given it away.
Okay.
But yeah, remember, because then Nate Robinson honored him
Yeah.
by wearing this book.
Mhm.
Yes, it was Spud Webb, 1986 dunk champion. So, all right. On this date, going to the year. Oh no, we're doing this one. I want you to name this quarterback. In 2004, this man throws a Pro Bowl record 4 touchdowns, and as the NFC rallies from an 18-point deficit in the final 13 minutes for a 55-52 victory over the AFC, the highest scoring Pro Bowl in history. Who threw the 4 touchdowns in that game? I think he was with the Ravens at that time. Name that quarterback.
You guys 4?
It was Mark Bolger.
Okay, yeah, I was saying I can't remember who.
All right, we're going to February 9th now. But I was going to skip that. I was going to skip the rest, but as soon as I saw Mark Bolger, I was like, "Oh my god. That would have been just great." By the way, on 2009, Lindsey Vonn won the downhill for her second gold at the World Championships. Shout out to Lindsey Vonn for trying to do that on a torn ACL. She unfortunately did crash and is having surgery on her leg. So I do want to shout out her. Shout out to her there. All right. On this date, the year is 1992. This man plays in the first time since announcing his retirement and scores a game-high 25 points and hands out 9 assists to lead the West to a 153-113 win over the East in the NBA All-Star Game in Orlando. It's pretty easy, but
Magic Johnson?
I'm not going to be here.
correct. It was Magic Johnson. In 1997, this man breaks 2 scoring records in the MVP performance, and Michael Jordan has the first triple-double in the NBA All-Star Game history. The East rallies to beat the West 132-120. This man finishes with 26 points and sets the record with 20 in the third quarter and 24 in the second half. I think both those have been broken since then. He played for them. I think he was on the Miami Heat at the time.
I don't know if it was right. Is it Glenn Rice?
It was Glenn Rice. Look at that. 3-1 for Ty Tracy. I was gonna give it to you. Ooh. If you can get the I'm not gonna get if you get this is the only way you can get bonus points. I'm not gonna mark this wrong. In 2015, on this date, San Antonio rallies from a 14-point fourth quarter deficit to get an 18-foot baseline jumper hit by this man with 2.1 seconds left to give Greg Popovich 1,000 wins with a 95-93 win over the Pacers.
It's not the guy I'm thinking about. The one KG Paul Pierce keep arguing about one time.
Who?
They can't talk about the podcast one time. But it's not him. I think it's is it
It's an Italian.
like Marco Bellinson, like
Marco Bellinelli. I can't believe you got this.
because I was like, it's not the other one. I can't remember who they kept talking about. I was like, it's not him.
I can't believe you got that. I really can't believe you got that. So that's 4-1, 62-12. Like, how?
I ain't gonna lie, I used to play with the Spurs a lot on 2K2 as well. So
Not fair. By the way, the Olympics opened up in Pyeongchang, South Korea on this date in 2018. And then, of course, we've had back-to-back years of dominant defensive Super Bowls. Eagles won their second title, 40-22. So, which, shout out to the Birds for that.
the Winter Olympics is playing right now.
Yes, the Winter Olympics are going on right now, which, by the way,
It's been
got
good.
to watch. It's been great. Watch curling this weekend. Mixed doubles got the dub. They're in the next round. We won figure skating. So team event. Go USA. Norway dominates us, but I am honestly we are going to get a mini Stanley Cup playoffs in the for the hockey tournament. Like the women have already won. The men's hockey tournament, if it's anything like the Four Nations Cup, is going to be epic. So please watch. Like, if you're not a hockey fan, this is a shorter version of it. Like, watch it. You'll get hooked. It's going to be great. Go USA. So, anything for this weekend? Oh, Clint Kubiak confirmed he's going to be the Raiders coach. Not shocking.
Yeah.
By the way, and I get why they do it because it's on the California side, but they said they're going to Kenneth Walker and Sam Darnold said they're going to Disneyland, not Disney World, and I hate it. It's always going. It's always I'm going to Disney World.
I was about to say because Disney World is way bigger than Disneyland, right?
Yeah, but Disneyland's in LA. It's in California.
I mean,
and then this game was in California, and ESPN's doing a whole thing. So shout out to Mike Tirico. Mike Tirico called a great game. Was hilarious. Like the booth, listen to a part of it on the game with Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner. But I do want to give Mike Tirico credit. Mike Tirico did an entire Super Bowl, which is hard.
Yeah.
And then was like, you know what? Let me add, I'm going to do primetime coverage of the Olympics. So shout out to Mike. Mike Tirico, you're the real MVP. And I'm going to Disney World, not Disneyland. Come on. What is this?
I mean, but still, I will.
I'm not going. If anybody wants to take me, let me know.
Yeah.
At Trey Lyle VT. But that will do for us tomorrow. Lake Lewis, more on the Super Bowl, how and what his early thoughts in the NFL season will be. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to the Morning Warm-Up on VTRN Sports, 93.3 FM, W227 BG Timberlake, and 1320 AM WBGM Lynchburg.
This is Unsportsmanlike on ESPN.